Okay, so, going back to the strategy now section, let's talk about what the worst case scenario of this coronavirus really looks like. I think it couldn't get any worse than everyone wearing hazmat suits everywhere they go. I mean, if everyone has their own personal hazmat suit, then there's nothing to hurt you. It doesn't look so fantastic. It sort of alarms you every time you look around and everyone you see is in a yellow hazmat suit. But there could be no regression further than that. If we had 7 billion hazmat suits in the world right now, everyone could put one on. Some people would have coronavirus inside their bubble, but it wouldn't be spread. There would just be no way for it to spread. Certain industries would continue to take a hit. For instance, anything that requires physical contact would definitely suffer. Probably the beauty industry would suffer. People would kind of, forego haircuts for a while, or professional cosmetic application, or anything like that would suffer. But the point is, life would go on for the most part. Farmers could still go into the field in their hazmat suit. People could still go to the office in their hazmat suit. Sports are not taking place, so events are still suffering. Restaurants are probably too, but you can get to the supermarket. You can get to the post office. You can go buy medicine. You can go to church, I suppose. So certain elements of normal life will continue, and it would only be for a couple of months. If everyone put on a hazmat suit right now, a month from now, there would be no more coronavirus, because how would it spread? It would be in the people it's in, and then it would pass away. Probably we would have to disinfect the inside of their hazmat suit, but that would be the end of it. But we don't have that yet, so people are in their houses. That would not be forever. But let's also remember that this is also going to be controlled eventually too. Once they start having better tests, once they start having vaccines, it's over. It's over. What would be cheaper, vaccines for everybody or hazmat suits for everybody? I'm not 100%. It'd be an unpleasant experience to have to dress this way for, a month. But that would solve it. So what does this mean for companies? Well, I think it means, and it's probably true with this quarantine environment or not, but companies are probably going to move towards remote workforces a lot more. We've talked about what it means to be a freelancer, so a member of a remote workforce technically. But what does it mean to be a business founder? So you start a small business, you have your computer in front of you, and you want to start assembling services in such a way that creates a profitable product for a third party. So you go on Fiverr and you pick 4 or 5 specialists and you coordinate them. Maybe you can convince them to work for you for a really good price, since it's a new company and it won't take up all their time and they can be part of something from the ground floor, whatever. But you could assemble them from Upwork and manage a workforce, and they're remote too. Maybe you're all on the beach. Maybe you see each other on vacation and don't even know it, but the company is still functioning along. I think even if there is no quarantine environment, there's a really attractive reality that we're discussing here for anybody. If you're starting a business now and you at least don't have some of your workforce remotely, I think you're missing out on a real opportunity, because you can save money. And it's convenient in other ways too. You're dealing with people who are geared towards mobile, geared towards internet, so they're going to be perhaps much more available than well, I guess people in your own office are available too, but it's cheaper. I guess that's really the bottom line. It's less money. You pay them less money. You don't have to pay them, for their Medicare and Medicaid and workers' insurance. They have to pay taxes for themselves. And you just never know what the environment is going to look like in the near future. So as a company, or if you're thinking about starting a business right now, I personally would be thinking about going 100% remote. That way, I don't have to come to the office either. I don't even need an office. Something to think about. And there is a general belief in the investment community that this is going to pass. And honestly, when you want a sense of what the world really thinks is going to happen in the future, the moment people feel like this is going to pass in 3 weeks or 3 months, and we feel like we see the end of it, or we see the controlled situation of it, the stock market is going to shoot up like a rocket. It's going to shoot up like a rocket. Right now, we don't know when the vaccine will be. We don't know when we can contain this. We don't know what the true death rates are. And all of this sort of creates uncertainty, which makes the stock market crash. But generally, the leaders of the stock market believe that this is human reaction. And even if it's not human reaction, we will get over it. And Carl Icahn, who's one of my favorite investors, he said that right now he believes stocks are just being given away. People are just giving them away for free. And these are American businesses or successful international businesses. And they're being sold for 50% off, 50 cents on the dollar. When you know that once coronavirus passes away, 1 month later, these stocks are going to be back up to what they were. Imagine an opportunity to profit 50% in a short period of time. It sounds good if you're buying and selling products. Yeah, 50% markup is normal, but there's work associated with that. We're talking about passive investment. You put it in, bang, doubles. That is a very clear opportunity that's happening in all sorts of stocks right now, all sorts of different business opportunities. And Carl Icahn is actually an interesting character. He's the 26th richest man in the world, and I would say that his opinion, but it's the same as Warren Buffett's. Warren Buffett has the same opinion, that these are American businesses and they will rise again. And so there's a real opportunity to buy now. The only thing you don't know is if they're going to fall a little bit more, and you don't want to, of course, do that. But I would say, for instance, the Dow Jones is something like 21,000 right now, when it was almost 30,000 2 months ago. I think it would be very painful to cut lower, and I guess we'll see. But I wanted to talk about Carl Icahn for a little bit also. Once I read his quote, I thought he was just an interesting character, and I think there's an interesting lesson in the way that his life has developed. So I would like to go now into the profiles and success, but let's take a moment.